Hello, happy Friday, I think. Yes, I know I look whatever. So I thought I would just come on and share what's been going on. If you've seen, past videos, then you know that I want to sell my house and get out of here. We lost my mom and my dad and then my husband and a few animals that meant the world to us. And I have nothing but dislike for this place now. I can't stand being here. I hate it. I think nothing good of this place anymore. Um, it's been 9 years of hell, honestly. And my husband passed 3 years ago. It took me 3 years to be able to do what I've done to this house because I was so severely depressed and had absolutely no energy. And finally, I think in June, maybe May, but more so in June, I just had a fire lit under me and I just went to town on this house, got things done quickly, called the realtor for an appraisal, went ahead and listed it. He called for a showing. The first and only people that came in here wrote a full price offer, which of course I accepted. We signed. It was contingent upon them being able to sell their house. They had a buyer, so they were going through the process too. We were in escrow. We'd signed all the necessary paperwork. The day before, I had just signed title paperwork, I believe. And I had called the Pods moving service because these people wanted us out of here by the 23rd, which was really no time, but thankfully during these 3 years I'd been packing. I was smart in that way. And then, once June hit, I just really got to town packing. And in 2 days, I pretty much finished the rest of the house and what needed to be packed. The only thing that I really have to do is duct tape my dressers and stuff. I learned that trick from my mom, so I don't have to empty them all into boxes and do all that. So, like I said, I got everything packed, and the next day, well, they wanted us out by the 23rd, so I called Pods and arranged for them to deliver 2 16-foot containers. And sorry, when I get to a certain point, I just kind of go blank because okay, got the containers. Oh, and then Pods, I figured, that I would have them pick the Pods up on the 22nd because that would be the day before closing. And then they told me no, they had to be picked up on the 18th. So that pretty much took 5 days off my packing. And you know what, I said, okay, go ahead, So the next day I wake up and I check my email, which this was 2 days ago, I believe, and everything's off. The buyer's buyer backed out. So And honestly, I've just been extremely depressed and angry. Everything, my makeup room is packed and empty. The room where I worked out and made fairy houses is completely packed and empty. Family room is packed and empty. Kitchen is pretty much empty. Everything is packed. The living room right now is stuffed full of furniture because that's where I took it, before the pods came. And since then, I've had absolutely zero motivation to do a damn thing. And I had made the decision that, my realtor said, we'll get the house back in the market. And I agreed to that because I want the hell out of this place. Nothing good ever happens for us here. I don't know if it will ever happen. And if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I made the decision that I'm just going to go ahead and pack everything, get it put in there. And I'm just going to leave our beds and a love seat. And that's it. And I would say hope that something good happens, but, people keep telling me, be positive, think positive. Sorry for my crappy attitude. And I just keep telling them, yeah, look what it's got me. So I'm just in a rotten mood. I don't have a makeup room anymore to go to and kind of decompress. And, the makeup room was like my little salvation space. And now it's gone. I do have a bag of makeup. I could sit down somewhere else and do it, which eventually I will, but it's just trying to find the motivation and whatever it is that I need to want to do it right now. And like I said, I'm supposed to be packing and putting, everything in the pods, but I just don't have the motivation. It's like, why, And I'm so angry at myself because I actually started believing a little bit that my son and I were actually going to enter into a happy space of our lives. I really thought, okay, we've, all that darkness could be behind us. Maybe we're actually coming into the light in the happy spot in our life. And in my heart and soul, I knew, no, that's not the way it works for you. And unfortunately, that's the way it's also going for my child. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and talk about it because, I keep mentioning that something was going on, and at the time it was something good, but of course now it's not. So I don't know when I'll be back, but I hope that you have a wonderful weekend.